Two irrevocably hostile humanoids.
Talking Dicks. This is our vlog podcast from the web series The Two Dicks. During pandemic times, we became the Talking Dicks. I'm Al Romas in Tampa. That's Al Ducharme, Studio City, California. How are you today, Alfred?
I'm doing well. This is also a video cast. That's another term.
Wouldn't that be vlog? Video? Wouldn't the V in vlog mean video?
Well, blogging, video blogging, yes. It's a hybrid.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm just saying there's so many identities, so many monikers for what we're doing.
There are. I don't really use the term vlog. I don't know if it's said much, but that's what we do. We vlog. We're bringing it back.
Well,
like sexy.
Casey
Sexy and
Neistat, who has 12 million, 20 million followers, YouTuber guy, he calls it a vlog.
Well, Casey, we have 88 subscribers. So I'll...
Oh, on YouTube. Yes, on YouTube. But we have 857 followers or more on Facebook.
And if they would just go to YouTube and subscribe, it would make us all happy, and it costs nothing. We're not even asking. Forget Patreon for a second. Just subscribe to our YouTube channel, for God's sake. That's all. Come on, it's free.
You're in, you're out.
Just
We're giving you free shit, man.
Man. Hey, had an interesting...
If half of our followers needed mouth-to-mouth resuscitation, I'm not sure if I'd do it.
I know I wouldn't. But I've seen a lot of those savages. Forget it. Hey, I had an interesting Saturday night. Last week I went to St. Petersburg, Florida, to a bar called Punky's. And our friend Helen Keeney was performing the stand-up comedy there.
I was trying to do an impression of a punk. I wasn't. I went like this.
Oh, I didn't really.
How do you do an impression of a punk? Like a punk.
Remember punks?
What's your problem, lady?
Remember smoking punks?
Oh,
they were
yeah.
kind of like long stem. You lit it up and punks. Anyway, I saw Helen perform the stand-up comedy at a Punky's bar, which, let's just say, not made for stand-up comedy.
Not conducive for the stand-up. Was it outdoors?
No, it was indoors, but it's a bar maybe for some music and, one row of tables this way, one row of tables this way. No, not for comedy.
Now, was Helen doing a regular stand-up show, or was she doing the crowd work?
The crowd work, tried to do the crowd work show, but at old Punky's, you either had to wear a mask on stage or you had to sit. That was their rule. Mask standing, no mask sitting.
Oh, so if you're mobile, they wanted you to have a mask, but if you're sitting, stable.
So she was trying to sit, and then the crowd was kind of far away.
Oh, no, that's not going to work.
No. But an interesting little cool thing that happened. Got to meet a 1980s movie star.
Oh.
At Punky's. 1980s movie star. Helen's like, oh, do you want to meet so-and-so? And I said, yeah, of course. So went out in the parking lot. They had their tables, like picnic tables out in the parking lot set up with umbrellas. And
Man or woman?
She was there.
She?
This is a woman. Pretty big 1980s, that decade movie star. I'll give you a few hints for the crowd. Maybe the audience.
See if you can guess what it is and put your comments below.
She let's see. She was in Stripes. Great movie, Stripes.
Okay.
Which we referenced in our last Two Dicks episode.
We did. We got it in there.
She was in No Way Out with Kevin Costner.
Good movie. That's where he was a naval officer. I'm not gonna, in case you didn't see it, I won't give any more away than that.
Spoiler, 1985 spoiler.
1985? Holy shit.
I don't know. That's a guess. And she was in Wall Street. Had a part in Wall Street.
All right, those are plenty of hints.
Yeah. But it was weird because, you go to this Punky's in St. Petersburg on a Saturday night, and you don't expect to be meeting this movie star, Are we going to guess, or we just let the people guess?
Let them guess down below.
Okay.
I want. That's
right.
our job, is to engage our listeners.
Right. Yeah.
But we're also visual, so this is a visual listening thing. Although we have spoken to other people, they listen to it in their car. They download it, and some people, like my Paul Francis Riley.
Who?
Paul Francis Riley is a lifetime committed Patreon supporter of the Two Dicks. Thank you, Paul. He listens to it in his workshop. So,
speaking of which, we will be Zooming. We will be Zooming Saturday night with Paul Francis Riley and the other patrons.
Ralph,
if you're interested. Oh, a bunch of people. There's a bunch
Ralph
of people.
Kimber
if you'd
III.
like to get in on that, if you'd like to get in on that, join the Patreon. You still have time.
Camille,
Friday, and you can join us with
Darryl.
a cocktail. Bring a cocktail.
It's a
happy hour.
And if you don't drink the libation, whatever you call them,
libation.
Yeah, bring yourself a soft drink. It doesn't matter. Club soda, whatever tickles your fancy, and the people that are buzzed will take over.
Well, yeah, they can have the show. We'll just sit back and watch.
Now, who's sending us messages? Who's sending us a message?
Speaking of which, sir, podcasts. I saw on the Twitter, I heard a little bit you were doing. You did a podcast last week. You were a guest on a pod, and I heard a little clip from the act. You were mentioning your act back in the day and doing Scarface with a very visual Scarface impression. If you want to explain that to our listeners here and viewers.
Okay, I know the one you're talking about because Detective Romas, I do a few of these comedian guest appearances on these podcasts and videocasts. But this particular one is helmed by Lenny Marcus and his sidekick Neil Potter. It's called The Four C's. The Four C's, they take 4 subjects and they divide the podcast up to 15 minutes per subject. They ask you questions, you tell stories. But they asked me what one of the bits that I started out doing when I was 17 or 19 years old. I was actually performing stand-up comedy at 17.
Wow.
But then again at 19. I would do an impression of Al Pacino as the character of Scarface. And I'd wear a suit, a Tony Montana suit, like a light-colored suit on stage. And I had a sandwich bag of flour, all-purpose flour. Yeah. And I'd throw it in my face, make a big cloud of dust, and I'd just do an impression of Scarface. Fuck you. Fuck everybody. Fuck them all, huh? Fuck you. I think they should have called it Fuckface. That was the tagline.
Oh.
But I had the suit and the flour, and it was a mess, and then I got rid of the suit and the flour, and I would just do the impression. But back then, in the 80s, it would crush. Nobody wanted to follow it.
Well, they didn't want to step in flour either.
Right.
Ugh. What's wrong with that guy?
Ugh.
What's wrong with that guy?
What are you afraid of? Getting a yeast infection? Yeah.
I don't. What was that? I'd be like, come on, this guy with the flowers.
You weren't thinking that back in the 80s when you were dabbling in stand-up comedy.
Sir, I was in the Navy in the 80s. I was serving America.
All hands on deck.
How dare you?
How many?
I wasn't wearing.
How many? There were no women allowed in the Navy back then. How many months at sea? How many months at seaman?
Throwing flour in my face. Throwing flour in my face and using obscenities on a stage. I was, come on.
I didn't say I was clever. I just knew I wanted to perform.
The reason you could do that was because I was on the Guam protecting America. Don't forget. Never forget.
Thank you for serving.
You're welcome.
I served too.
Okay.
My family had a restaurant.
Was that one of the jokes from 1985? Right after? Was that before? That was probably before the flour. You can't. Once you throw the flour, you're like Bugs Bunny lighting himself on fire. It's over. I want to do it again. I can't. I can only do it once. And then he flights to heaven. Well, that's good, man. I was on one too last week. Very excited. I got to do Never Not Funny, Jimmy.
Oh, that's a great one, yeah.
Pod. I've been listening since day one. I was one of the early listeners, and I think it's got to be 20 years that thing's been, I don't know, 15 years.
He's one of the pioneers of doing the podcast, Jimmy Pardo.
Yeah, it was. He's one of my very favorite comedians. People ask me who I think is funny. I go, Jimmy Pardo. A lot of people don't know him, and I'm like, well, you should. That's your problem. You should know who he is. He's fantastic.
He is.
like the crowd king.
I've met him a few times. He used to chum around.
He didn't know
with
your name. Didn't recognize the name. Sorry.
I went to a reading. We all had to do a 1,300 word reading, humor reading, and he did one and I did one. He should know my name. I fucking blew him off stage, motherfucker.
He wasn't familiar with the name, but it was.
He should know my name. He's been watching. He's been watching the Two Dicks from the get go.
I know. It was a 90-minute pod. He has a morning show team, and it was great.
No, he's the real deal. He has a Patreon page, by the way.
Big Patreon page, big, and his stuff's on paywalls and
but he's got a staff, crew, researchers. I mean, he's got it all happening. It's just the two.
So it was great.
It's just the talking dicks, the Two Dicks. By the way, I just wanted to tell you, I wasn't able to hear it myself because I think it's just Patreon at this point until it's public. But a lot of people have migrated towards our Facebook and Instagram because of that appearance that you made.
There you go. See?
So thank you.
And I did it right from here. And that he really promoted a lot. But they were having a good time making fun of my merch store.
But on Reddit, they were talking to you up. You must have read a few of them on Reddit. They were like,
yes, sir.
Like all compliments because they can shit on you as well.
Right.
But they were blowing smoke up your ass. They were, have him back. He's hysterical. He's great. So
that was nice. Yeah, I didn't want to look because that you can get crushed on there. And I thought, well, I don't really, but I kind of.
There was only
I'll read
one that was kind of like an insult, but
what was that?
It was me. I don't count that.
Son of a bitch. But they were he was very interested in the coasters. Fascinated.
Did you send them?
I sent Jimmy some coasters, but he loved this.
Well, how many coasters did you send? Are you keeping track of this? I paid for those.
I sent them 46 coasters. 46. So
he better know me now.
He's a big family, and they like to sit around and socially distance and put their drinks down. And,
I've been to Christmas parties with him, Hollywood Christmas parties.
He didn't make
I did the reading. He started out watching the Two Dicks web series. How could he not know who I am?
Next time,
as a performer, do you know what that does to our ego, our insecurities? It just engulfs us, it inflames us. Jimmy Pardo, I want you to find out who I am.
Next time you do a reading, wear the suit, bring the flower. He'll never forget. That's all you got to do. You know what I'm saying? And you know what time it is, sir?
I'm choking. I'm choking.
Choking on Joe.
Questions.
Holy cow.
It's that time of the pod vlog where we answer questions from the people. And this is a new guy. Popping in there. New guy. Keith Rosebrock. He writes a question. He writes, where's the dame?
Bernadette Pauly?
I think he's going back to episode 1, season 1. The interrogation.
He's talking about the missing dame.
Or I think in the interrogation I said, where's the dame?
Oh, okay. We mentioned dame several times.
Or cabbage. Yeah.
So in the very first, and then there's the missing dame. The two dicks in the missing dame, right? That's the name of it.
I believe so.
Episode 2.
Episode 2 shot in my garage.
Now here's the deal. It's called The Two Dicks. He had a hard time with the title, but we kept it now, and we're going on 3 years. I wanted to name that episode The Two Dicks in the Woman. He said, no, we can't do that. No. You said, yes, you did. Yes, you did. And then we shot another episode with Bernadette Pauly, my wife, playing the dame, and you said, let's call it The Two Dicks in the Dame, or in the Woman. That's right.
Sir, your memory of the history of the dicks is skewed at best. Skewed at best. I did
54, where are you?
Throw that shit all over your face like you did with the Scarface impression. Let's see that again. Reenact it. Can you reenact it for us?
We're at 16 minutes.
God, run to the kitchen, get a bag of flour, and that would be tremendous. I would love to see that bit come back to life. God damn, that's good stuff there, Alfred. Good stuff. 30 years ago.
All right. All right. So
Anyway, where's the Dame? That's where she's in episode 1, 2, 3, whatever it was. And thanks for watching, Keith. We appreciate the support or whatever it is. Now go subscribe to YouTube and sign up for the Patreon. And you know what I mean? Really, support. Let's see some support.
I'm going over there. Oh my
God. Subscribe.
Mary.
If you shoot me, you won't see a cent of that money.